You didn't. The photos are blurry. Get it together. Take accountability. Oh my god. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. As you probably read in the subject, is it subject line? Title of the video. I'm gonna talk about a crazy situation that recently happened to me on eBay. A shocker situation. Now keep in mind, the algorithm has not picked me up, which is fine, whatever, because I enjoy making these videos for anyone that watches for educational purposes and for entertainment purposes, and this is going to be a story time. Hopefully for those out there who are buying off of eBay or selling on eBay. I have to tell you this story because it's a pickle. It was crazy. So let me start it off because I don't want to make this too long. I'm very long-winded. I like to talk. I don't know. If I have a story to tell, the story comes out and I'm just rambling sometimes. It happens. Enjoy it. Enjoy the experience. So, I've gotten really into Roy Ayers. If you're not familiar with Roy Ayers, he is an extremely talented living legend who I feel does not get enough credit as well. His music has been sampled almost just as much as James Brown's, to be honest, but like I feel like his name isn't as out there as much. He's an amazing artist. He's been sampled by so many people, including Mary J. Blige. If you've heard My Life, My Life, My Life, that actually samples his song Everybody Loves the Sunshine, which is one of my favorite songs. If you've heard Get Money by Junior Mafia, you know, with Lil' Kim, Get Money, Get Money, you know that song. That samples a song that he produced for, and wrote, I believe, for Sylvia Striplin. Erykah Badu has sampled him many times. Jay Dilla has sampled him many times, including on an Erykah Badu track, Didn't You Know It's Not. Clever samples him by Erykah Badu. Anyways, he's a living legend, and I've gotten really into his music. I feel like every day I'll tell one of my app things to play Roy Ayers. There's just something atmospheric and just beautiful about his music, his voice, vibraphones, all of that. It's just so gorgeous. It just gets me in the mood. So basically, I've been trying to add some of his stuff to my collection. I already previously had a couple of his albums, but it's more so the ones you can easily find. For some reason, Everybody Loves the Sunshine has been particularly difficult to find at a decent value. And I was just like Googling online trying to find it because I'm just like, hasn't this been repressed? You know what I mean? Can I find it for $19.99 or something? No, can't. So I Googled Roy Ayers, Everybody Loves the Sunshine, and I saw that someone was selling it on eBay. Now keep in mind, I rarely buy records off eBay. No particular reason why. I've purchased like new records from eBay, like say it'll be like a bootleg live recording that you can't just like easily find on Discogs or in stores, but usually I don't buy like used records from eBay. Usually I get those if I'm shopping online from like Amoeba or Discogs. So I was just like, I saw this listing. He originally had it listed for like $60, and I was like, okay, I'm not paying $60. Because, okay, so it was a bundle. It was a bundle of Roy Ayers albums. It was 4 albums, and one of them included Everybody Loves the Sunshine, and it was still in the shrink wrap, but the shrink had been open. So, you know, it was just on the vinyl. And I was just like, I'm not paying $60 for 4 records, even though that's kind of a deal. That's like probably like $15 per record. But then you have to, with eBay, you have to add in like, you know, shipping and tax and stuff like that, which would have made it $7. Like, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. So it's just like, and not because I couldn't, but just because I'm trying to reel it in when it comes to buying records. I have quite a collection, and I need to start just shopping for my collection and putting on a damn record. That's one of my plans for the new year, so like reel it in with the shopping. But anyways, back to my story. So I was like, hey, they have the make an offer option. So I went ahead and I made the offer of $50, which was just like $10 less. I was like, if they accept the offer, I'll take it. Cute. Meant to be. That's how I see it sometimes. If like an offer is accepted, they accepted the offer. They did. So keep in mind, I don't know if I can add in photos from the listing, but they did have photos of like the sleeves and the record. The sleeves were, all of the sleeves pretty much, two of the sleeves in particular were pretty beat up. Two of them were just like meh, including the Everybody Loves the Sunshine, which was still in the shrink because the actual vinyl, the actual sleeve had some water damage. This is all terminology that I feel like record owners and shoppers and collectors out there will be familiar with, but this particular seller did not use any of the grading system, so none of it said like VG, G, and M. It just, the listing said that pretty much the sleeves were kind of beat up, but the records were all in good or great playable condition. So I looked at the photos and was like, these records don't look too bad. So it's like, you know, maybe there'll be some surface noise, which I can live with. And if the record sleeves are beat up, that's fine, because I'm a collector that just loves playing music, per se. Like, I do love album art, and if I can find a record in great condition with the sleeve, awesome. But if it's one that's like really hard to find or difficult for me to find, then I will totally just, you know, get it, even if the sleeve is not in perfect condition. So I bit the bullet and I totally purchased the records. Well, it's really funny because this seller, should have saw this as a red flag, he accepted the offer, and then he was like, I don't know if you saw my listing, but I expect payment ASAP and I will ship these out for you. Or he said, let me just pull it up. What did he say? Thank you for your purchase. Please note my listings require immediate payment. With prompt payment, your items can be shipped today. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Because, you know, some sellers are used to people just sitting on an invoice and not paying it, etc. Because some people are like that. I'm not really like that. Usually I pay my invoices like within a day or two. But if it's longer than a day, I usually have reached out to the person. So I paid it. I was surprised that it arrived so quickly. It got to me in like 2 or 3 days. I got the alert on eBay that it had like been delivered. I was like, is this correct? So I went downstairs, got the mail, opened the box. I was like, ooh, Everybody Loves the Sunshine. I finally own it. And I was excited for the other records because I don't have them. So this is the copy of Everybody Loves the Sunshine. One of my favorite songs, favorite albums. The sleeve is in good condition. Was this the first one I put on? I think this is the first one that I put on. And when I put it on my turntable, crackle, 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 crackle. But once the music started, the music was louder than the crackle. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna accept it. I'm gonna accept it. I'm gonna live with it. It's fine until I can find an ideal, perfect copy. Like, if they re-release this, especially if they re-release it on like yellow vinyl, because I do love an aesthetic thing about like colors and I don't know. But if they re-released it, especially if it was like an expanded edition, etc., of course I would buy it new. But this will totally do for now. I was happy. It was sealed. I took the seal off. You can kind of see some of the water damage on the sides. I don't know if you guys can see it in this camera because it's so crazy. But yeah, so I was excited about that. Very excited. Then I decided to put on this one, Change Up the Groove. Now you see the sleeve, how bad condition it is. And like I said, I am not mad about sleeves being in not great condition. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I hope you will. But do you see how, oh God, can you see it? Probably not. Oh, there. See all these scratches? Like, these are only the scratches that you can see on camera, and especially that one. Like, this record is beat up. This record is like thrift store bin 50 cent quality. Look at all those scratches. I put that on my turntable and it was effing insane. I was like, wow, this sounds like, and this is after I tried like cleaning it, it's still so bad. Now, in his photos, because I was like, how did I miss this in the photos? I zoomed in on the photo and I saw he actually only had one side of the record photographed, and that one side, when you zoom in, is blurry. The crackle on this was like static on a damn TV. It is like watching a live performance of someone on a TV with an antenna that's just not picking it up. I was just like, oh my god. And then I put on this one, which I actually already own this one, so I wasn't that mad about it. This one was just like, if it plays better than my one that I already own, that's fine. Will you look at this record? Like, come on, dude. So I reached out to the seller. And the one that I reached out about, because, like I said, I have Mystic Voyage already, was this one, Change Up the Groove. Because I was excited to get this one. I was really excited. It even has the MASH theme on it, which is crazy. So, was excited to get it. I wrote him very nicely. I'm going to try to make this short, y'all. I wrote him, thanks for the fast shipping. They got to me today surprisingly quick. Unfortunately, some of the vinyl are beat up way more than could be told from the photos that were posted. In particular, the Change Up the Groove album has several skips on the last two tracks on side A. It does. I was just like, I checked it on both my record players and I was like, oh my god, this sounds awful, and it skips. And an incredible amount of surface noise throughout. Pretty disappointing there. Glad they got to me so quickly, but looks like there's nothing that can be done about this one, since even cleaning it won't help, since it seems to be a bunch of scratches and not dust or dirt, unfortunately. He wrote back, friend, I'm sorry to hear that. What is your suggestion from here? Which I thought was strange, because I'm just like... And this is a note to sellers out there. Like, what is your suggestion from here? No. How about you tell me what my options might be? Would you allow me to return this one record out of the group? Would you send a customer maybe a partial refund? At this point, I would accept it like $5 to $7 because I got the most sought after record that I wanted, per se. So I would accept the $5 or $7, to be honest. I'm not, like, I know that some people have a living off of eBay and reselling items. I know this. So I'm just like, I'm not trying to take advantage of anyone. Or do you suggest, like, I don't know. There's not many like things you can just suggest here, because it's just like, if I try cleaning it and everything and the pictures were inaccurate, it's kind of your fault as a seller. And so taking accountability is extremely important. And keep in mind, I've also sold on these platforms before. Like, I know that what I'm getting myself into is that I have to take accountability for the items that I'm selling, which means I would post clear photos and a clear description. I would not sell you something without all of these details laid out, because I don't want a customer to receive an item and be extremely disappointed into what I sold them. Come on, makes sense. So anyways, what did he write? Okay, so that's what he wrote. What is your suggestion from here? I said, thanks for the quick response. I'm not sure, since your return policy says no returns, and it's this record and Mystic Voyage that are particularly in poor condition vinyl-wise. The previous mentioned one is in the worst condition, though, with the skips, but since purchased as a set, I suppose there's no way to be partially refunded or be credited for just that one, is there? He wrote this long thing saying, let me ask you this. Is raw airs all you need? Okay, maybe we can come up with something else you like. If so, contact me and I'll give you a special discount. We can work it out, my friend. I would also like to mention that we buy storages, so we really never know what we may have. We do appreciate you and your business and want you to be happy. I really like things, but I prefer some type of working out / discount instead on the record I received, considering it wasn't listed in such bad condition and the photos were inaccurate, clear of the vinyl, unfortunately. Let me know if something can be worked out for this purchase, as I didn't plan on making another anytime soon. I didn't. So, like, do not come back to a buyer and be like, maybe we can work something out on another purchase? What? No. Come on. Either allow me to go through the hassle of returning the one record, or just tell me there's nothing to be done, or give me a partial refund. Whatever works out best for you. Like, if you tell me no, there's nothing can be done, especially if it started off nicely, I would just be like, guess there's nothing that can be done. What the F ever. But I wouldn't leave a negative review. I would just leave no review. This seller, well, crazy. For some reason, it's like he got butt hurt. He says, okay, sounds good. Pack them up and send them back for a refund. Now you are insinuating that the photos weren't clear. They weren't. I've been around a long time, that statement. And I know what things are worth. Return them to me for a refund and don't try bashing my feedback. I have an answer for that too. What? I am trying to be kind and you want to push it. I could stand on the no returns. Where the hell am I trying to push it? Where? And don't, like, I was just like, the fragility of this man was so obvious and evident. It just feels like the type of person that is just like, I'm always right. And I just don't like that. If you're a seller, technically the customer should be always right. All customers are not always right. But if a customer comes to you nicely and can provide photos of the item, don't try to stand on your toes like, now you're insinuating the photos aren't clear. The photos aren't effing clear. I was not having it, because then it's like he started insinuating that I was just trying to get money out of him. And it's like, to be honest, he kept repeating, I've been around a long time, in his other messages. And he kept repeating, I know that a recording done in 1963 is going to sound crackly. We take great pictures and the descriptions are on point as well. Yes, you are insinuating that I didn't describe them correctly. You didn't. The photos are blurry. Get it together. Take accountability. Oh my God. I sent him a clear photo of that effing record. The record is beat up. I told him that I didn't think that I had to zoom in on the photos. I zoomed in on his photos and you still could not see any damage because the photo was not taken clearly. I sent him a clear photo. You don't even have to zoom in on the photo to see how bad the vinyl looks. He took this tone of like, you're trying to get one over on me. No, I'm not. You're trying to get one over on me. It's like, dude, this air of arrogance and this tone that you're taking is extraordinarily unprofessional as a seller. And it's not like I bought a $2 record from you. Come on. This was a set of records purchased at $50, which with shipping and tax made it like almost $60. And I was just like, come on, just take accountability. And I could have been the type of person that's like, 3 of the records are not in great condition. I'm only making a fuss about this one because it skips horribly. It's in terrible condition. So, oh my God, this went on for like a day. Like as soon as I got the records, I think it was like 3 o'clock or something in the day, I started, I messaged him after I heard that one, and it just like kept going back and forth because I don't like being, you should never, you can even think that a customer is trying to take advantage of you, but you should never insinuate that to a customer. That is crazy to insinuate that. But also a customer that has come to you nicely wondering, like I wasn't even wondering an option. I was just like, this one came really badly. Like, and it's just like, if it came really badly, just let a person know what can be done, or just don't even answer. If you didn't answer, I kind of wouldn't care, because it's just like, I guess this person's an asshole. And I wouldn't even post a negative review, even though I probably should. But when he started going back and forth and being so nasty and so rude, I was just like, no. Then he tried to say that I was, not insulting him, that I was harassing him. Because it's just like every time I would send a message, he would come back with his tone, and then I would send a message back. I was just like, dude, you're acting like I'm trying to take advantage of you. Let me try to find a message. Sorry this video is getting long, but this was just a pickle. And I was just so mad. It's so... Okay, so I wrote him. I sent him pictures of the record after he wrote about... You are a singer that didn't describe them correctly, blah, blah, blah. I was like, please compare your picture of this record to the ones I have immediately added below. The picture on your listing is blurry and did not show how badly scratched the record is. Instead of being so fragile and acting as though I'm trying to get one over on you, just take accountability. I began this conversation not asking for anything, even thanking you for the quick shipment, and then you asked me what can be done, then led down this road of me making another purchase. Which is so shady. I began this nicely, yet you're turning it into something completely unnecessarily ridiculous. Regardless of when a recording was made, which is true, it should not skip unless it is in bad condition, which this record obviously is. Let me know if you would like more clear pictures of the other record I mentioned but not bothered to address. Attaches a photo of the other side as well, showing the large scratches that cause the skipping. It's not hard to see in a clear photo. He wrote back, no, I don't need them, thanks. He saw the pictures. He saw how shitty that fucking record looked. Ooh, excuse my language. I was livid. I feel like this is the type of person, and this is no shade to people that do this, but there are people like, I mean, he even mentioned it, that they buy several storages. There are people that will buy storage units and then they'll sell them online. When it comes to certain things, you have to be careful selling them online if you don't know how to like grade them or how they will work out. Like, this is a person that probably doesn't even have a record player, and if he does have a record player, he did not test out these records before listing them on eBay for such a hefty price. Some may call it hefty, some may call it not hefty. So I think that's the situation, but to be so fragile is crazy. Anyways, to make a long story short, this went on for a day. And he threatened me previously, being like, if you bash my reviews, I'll leave. I know what to do with that or something, or whatever. I have something for that. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So this went on for a day, back and forth. Hated it, because I don't like drama. But then I don't like drama. I don't like all of that. It's unnecessary. Let's just work something out. That doesn't include a buyer buying something else from you. That's crazy. Anyways, he threatened to have me banned. He threatened to report me. He threatened to report me because I told him this is the worst experience in my over a decade on eBay because of his tone and the way he went about this. This is crazy. I told him, you offered me a discount if I made another purchase from you. How is that in any way right when I was sent an accurately described item? I mean, look at that vinyl in comparison to the photo you have listed. Zoom into my clear photo and you can see that this is in poor condition, not good. You don't have to zoom into mine to even see the scratches, yet you made this somehow become so over the top, like I'm trying to get one over on you. It's purely ridiculous and incredibly disappointing, but thanks. Yeah. And then I wrote, then he was like, it's all document, have a good evening, this is a game. I'm like, yeah. I was like, yes, from the beginning I mentioned that there was an issue with the Ron record, yet you tried to get me to make another purchase. What is your problem of not understanding and being rude, unprofessional, and not taking accountability? This is when I was done. You made the mistake and graded all the albums incorrectly and posted blurry photos, yet I'm the one in the wrong for only reporting an issue with one from the start. Thanks so much for being the worst seller on eBay I've actually... Oh, this was after he laughed at me. He was like, are you kidding? It was just like, it's so, like, ah! This video is getting long. I apologize. So, I sent that message and I told him to have a great year because I was just like, this is ridiculous. This is going nowhere. He wrote back saying, now you're threatening. No, he didn't say it. He was like saying, I have a college degree, blah, blah, blah. God, so fragile. And he just went on and I was just like, because this is the next morning I saw this message. I don't know if this person was drunk this entire conversation or what. It was just so messy. And he basically said that he's going to report me. And I'm like, report me for fucking what? Like, this person's nuts. What the F did I do? I was like, this is too much drama for my life. This is ridiculous. And if someone's threatening to report me after I've been on eBay for over a decade, I don't even plan on making many more purchases from eBay because, like I said, I'm trying to reel it in with purchases in general. Said it last year, saying it again this year. It's gotta take effect. So it was just like, part of me was just like, let him report you because this is stupid. Anyone reading this conversation will see that I, as a buyer, is in the right. I sent photos. Let him report you because he'll see. And then the other part of me was like, you know what? I'm going to call eBay. I called eBay and I spoke to someone because they're just like, I have an issue with this seller and I don't want to jeopardize anyone's living. I don't want to jeopardize anything, but this person has threatened to report me and they thanked me for having 16 years on eBay. I was like, whoa, I've been on eBay that long? It's just like, wow. Time is so weird. Including the time of this video, because I can't believe it's going this long. So yeah, they said they looked through my conversation with me on the phone, which is what I wanted them to do. I was like, do you see me being in the wrong here? They were like, to be honest with you, absolutely not. They told me I was not in the wrong. They read through the conversation. They saw the photos. They saw his messaging, and they told me the best thing for me to do would be to report the seller because this type of behavior that was exhibited is outside of their guidelines. And I think it includes like his tone, but also the fact that he's trying to get a buyer to make another purchase, and it like the original purchase wasn't right. Like, it just was a whole mess, to be honest, this whole interaction. If you guys are selling items from out of storage units and it's records or anything of that nature, even if it's VHS tapes, how about you test those things out? Because certain technology like that and DVDs, etc., you may not see. I mean, these you could effing see that they were not in good condition, even on this video camera. But test it out before you list it. Otherwise, it can just like spiral into something else. And if you don't want to test it out, don't be so fragile about selling it. If you feel like it could get like, it could be an issue with a person who actually, say, enjoys vinyl and wants to listen to the record, post clear photos. Check those photos yourself, or if you're older, have someone like younger zoom in and etc. Because I understand everyone's different, but don't be so fragile as a seller. eBay suggested that I definitely report him. They actually walked me through it on the phone. It was so funny. I was like, how do I do this? They walked me through it because they agreed that this seller is out of line. And they also did a request for a partial refund. Now, keep in mind, I would have been okay with sending the record back and just getting some of my money back, or getting like a minimal partial refund, because that's something I would do if I was selling a bundle of a set, and giving someone like, I honestly would have said $5 to $7 is fine to him, which would have been like the shipping cost. Because, you know, yeah, he did sell this, and I'm not mailing, if it's a partial refund like that, he did sell it to me. I do have it. It's in shitty condition, but like, it's still in my possession. So $5 to $7 would have been fine to me. It at least shows me that a seller is willing to work things out, which is so important. And they offered me, Actually, they didn't even tell me what the partial refund was going to be. They processed it on their end as in a request for a partial refund, which went directly to the seller. I was like, do I have to interact again with the seller? Because I do not want to interact with the seller again. And they were like, no. I was like, okay, great. And they're like, we completely understand. And I was like, does the seller have my address? Which I think he does, which is so scary. But like my friend said, it was like, if this person's acting up about $1 record they probably found at a thrift store, then they're not gonna make the trip all the way to Florida. So I think you're good. And I was like, I think you're right. So they later that day I saw that they sent a proposal for a $15 partial refund, which was more than I even asked for, and I just went ahead and accepted it. I was like, because otherwise you could reject it. I was like, I'm not rejecting it, whatever, I want this to be done. But yes, that was my most horrible eBay experience. Because I'm a good buyer, and usually I work with good sellers. I just never thought that this would spiral into what it became. Crazy. Anyways, like I said, for your seller out there, definitely check out the items that you're selling. Please. And if you're not sure about them and you're selling them and someone writes back nicely saying, hey, they have an issue with the item, they provide photos of like what the issue is, like take their word for it. Because if that started off with him being nice and like trying to work it out without not making me make another purchase type of thing, talking about a discount off another purchase, then I would have just like, if he gave me $5 or $7 back, or said that I could return the one record back to him and provided like a label or something, I would have like totally left him a good review and everything would have went smoothly. But instead, it went totally left. And I'm just like, this should have went way better than it did. So work with customers, but don't try to make them make another purchase. And know what you're selling also before you sell it. And if you don't know, have somebody else that you are a friend with, check it out. You never know who might have a record player. Put that thing on the record player. If it sounds like a static TV telecast or whatever, maybe you shouldn't sell that item. And if you should, maybe you should sell it for $2, because that's crazy. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as buyers out there, be aware of what you're getting yourself into. I mean, in this situation, the photos looked okay. I don't know. It was a hot-ass mess. But stand on your ground, because that's crazy. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have a great day. And again, a happy new year. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you've had a similar experience, I would love to hear about it. So leave a comment down below and like and subscribe as usual. Bye.